We got Jemele Hill, excuse me, a prominent figure in the world of DEI hires, wanting to challenge OutKick's Riley Gaines, which is always a bad move. Riley has stood up in front of Congress and kicked ass. Of course, Jemele Hill is going to be the one that brings race into it, privilege, all that happy horse bleep. It's a flammable topic regarding Caitlin Clark on X. And frankly, Gaines kicked her ass. Let's start. Here's the initial tweet. No one was asking for Caitlin Clark to position herself as a right-wing hero. All she needed to do was remain neutral. She's a phenomenon who inspires countless young women to play and achieve. So I still have great admiration for her, but she missed the mark on this one. What she missed the mark on was, and depending on who you want to listen to, was saying that she and acknowledging privilege, her white privilege as part of her success. And of course, trying to kid us, which you can't, that this great league, the WNBA, was built on the backs of African-American women. No, it was not. It's lost money every year for 28 years, including this one. It's built on the backs of the NBA saying, yo, let's do something philanthropic. Let's give women an opportunity, which I'm down for. Like, I'm all good with the WNBA. It's not my money, but I don't want to hear about Riley Gaines' privilege and everybody losing their mind and how this was built on the backs of African-American women. It was built on the backs of the money the NBA has made, making a donation and losing money every year to the Women's National Basketball Association, period. There are no backs. There are no stars that matter. No, Caitlin Clark, there were good players and there are good players, but Caitlin Clark just different. And the numbers show it. I don't need to go through the numbers with you, do I? I mean, I'm not afraid to. 1,000% viewership increase, 1,275% increase in jersey sales, that type of, and still rising, by the way. Of course, Jemele Hill had a response. You holla all the time about supporting and protecting women, and yet the moment Caitlin Clark expresses appreciation and respect for the black women in the WNBA, many of whom she grew up watching and idolizing, suddenly you're acting like a disappointed parent. Chilly, I guess that's a slang term. It was probably a derogatory white term for white women. You could not tell on yourself any louder. That's a big thing with people. Oh, you just told on yourself. Really? All right. I mean, I'm for a good argument. What do you call it? Catfight? That's what they called it on 30 Rock. Ooh, catfight. No, this isn't a catfight. This is one very strong woman and one, Jemele Hill. White privilege in the WNBA is literally hilarious. Maybe you're like Sonny Hostin and think Cece also had tall privilege, pretty privilege, straight privilege. There's lots of black players in the WNBA I love and respect too, but I don't admire them because they're black. I admire them for their game. That's the difference. And of course, this is what folks always say when we make the comeback. Jemele Hill responds, you're intentionally missing the point. No, she's not intentionally missing the point. White privilege is real. Really? Now, okay. If you say so, I mean, if Jemele Hill says so, what must we all not just genuflect and say, yes, 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 yes. Sports is no exception. CC is self-aware enough to understand that black women who have accomplished things similar to what she has, no, they haven't received the same marketing and endorsement opportunity. Well, I'm going to talk about that for a second. You can say that's privilege, but let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a real simple question. How do most of, if not all of the women, black or white, act? Like, how do they act? Like, I'm not just talking about black. Diana Taurasi seems like a Megan Rapinoe. Diana Taurasi and all the white women are trying now a little different, but back before Caitlin Clark, they were all angry lesbians. I mean, you tell me about Brittany Griner, Dijon Carrington, Kennedy Carter, all these women that act like dudes. Now, forgive me, but I get it. We're all supposed to say, yay, rah, go fight, win. They're the same, and we should chat. We should be happy for all of them, but that's not the way America works. We find likable people. Angel Reese taking off her clothes. Angel Reese wearing booty shorts, wearing as little clothes as possible. You know Caitlin Clark does? She's different. Just kind of acts like a young woman acts, like a young dude acts. No. This isn't about privilege. This isn't about why somebody got marketing opportunities. She got marketing opportunities because her game is different. We've seen Angel Reese before. We've seen a big old girl fall down trying to make a layup. We've seen people play from the free throw line in. We've seen this, but we've not seen Caitlin Clark. I'm not talking about skin color. I'm talking about game. And Jemele Hill is intentionally missing the point. That's the reason. And she hasn't acted like a dumbass. She hasn't acted like a dude. She's acted, quite frankly, like a tomboy that you grew up in the neighborhood with and you thought was really cute, and she played sports. That's how my wife is. I tell my wife all the time, I would have lost my mind living in your neighborhood playing basketball or football or baseball against you. I would have. A cute tomboy. That appeals to everyone. That appeals to women, not crazy ass, I hate you, Sonny Hostin women, or I'm fat, could never do anything, Jemele Hill women. No. Real women, raising families, trying to make sure their kids get going in life. Not some idiot like Kennedy Carter who's going to knock somebody in the back and walk around like she's a dude. That is unattractive. Or Diana Taurasi slicking her hair back. Or Sue Bird telling us about her lesbian affairs. I'm sorry. It's popular in your group, but it isn't overridingly popular. That's just the way it is. That isn't sexist. That isn't racist. That isn't anti-LGBTQ ABCD. That's just simply the way this country works. And if you don't like it, tough. A lot of people don't like bald people. True story. A lot of people don't like old people. A lot of people don't respect young people. Every single group, whatever you want to call it, group or position in life, has this. So Jemele Hill can kiss my ass with the marketing opportunity. Though if you put Diana Taurasi in a State Farm ad, people might turn it off immediately. If you put Brittany Griner in a State Farm ad, people would turn it off immediately. How about Kennedy Carter? Maya Moore seems wonderful. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Maya Moore seems wonderful. Some of the women do seem wonderful. I know Tamika Catchings is absolutely wonderful, an amazing lady. I wish she didn't play in Indiana at a time where everybody else in the league, nobody cared about. Fantastic. Give you another thing. You come out of Tennessee like Tamika did. You come out of UConn like Taurasi did, and guess what? People, you're just another player in a factory. All of a sudden, you come from Iowa, where they are women's basketball crazy and always have been. Now you got opportunities. She got opportunities because of her popularity. She got popular because of how she played and how she conducted herself. You think any major companies really want that stupid ass, what's her face, Angel Reese walking around? I get some do. Some have quotas. I get it. But she's basically a barnacle on the ass of Caitlin Clark, and I'm kind of tired of this narrative. It's a bullshit narrative. It is. Prior to this year, every WNBA player who had their own shoe was white. Tough. For a long time, even when Serena Williams was the number one player in the world, Maria Sharapova made more money than her in endorsements because Serena wasn't considered a fit for high-end brands. Good. Go back 30 more years. Great. It's changed. Tough. What's funny is that you can see the inequities that women face if they're white, and for some reason you want to play dumb when it's black women. Here's what Riley said. This you saying Caitlin Clark's race and sexuality made her problematic? Clark isn't the problem. She's the solution. Being a long-standing professional race baiter must be so exhausting. That's right. Hey, I'm going to give my shoe, if I'm Nike, to whoever the hell I think sells the more shoes. Now, you don't like it? Fine. Serena Williams was great. Serena Williams is up in the top 5 all time. I believe this to be true. Hell, I saw it on Twitter. It's got to be true. In women making money off endorsements. Let me say it again. Top 5 all time endorsement earner, women, Serena Williams. Now just stop. Yeah, Maria Sharapova had a nice little run. She was a major champion winner as well, but she hadn't made as much over time. I don't give a shit about the shoes. I'll tell you this point blank. If I thought I could sell a shoe putting them on a giraffe. I would sell a shoe putting them on a giraffe. Tough. That's business. You don't like it? What are you going to do? I get it. You're trying so hard. You'll get there. You'll get there, L. Sharpton, Jemele Hill. It'll happen for you. I swear, baby. You'll get to deny your taxes, not pay them, hang out at the Four Seasons, drink cognac and smoke cigars, all on the taxpayer dime. You'll get to charge $35,000, $45,000 to a group if they have a race problem. But the cash got to be up front to Reverend Al. Him and Jesse Jackson, that was the scam. Now, you'll get there. You keep trying, girl. It'll happen for you. Speaking of dumbasses, I saw this, and literally every single person on every side, black, white, green, purple, straight, lesbian, has come to the conclusion that Mystics owner Sheila Johnson is a stone moron. Now, let's back up. Father was a neurosurgeon. Husband started BET, divorced the husband, got BET, ran it into the ground, married the divorce judge. Let me say that again. Married the divorce judge. This is a beautiful person. Now, she revealed herself obviously racist, but dumb on top of it. Her latest comments surrounding Time Magazine, I want you to listen to this. Time Magazine named Caitlin Clark, I'm going to say it clearly and slowly, Athlete of the Year. Say it again. It's important. Athlete of the Year, claiming Clark gets the attention because she's white and that other black WNBA players should have been on Time Magazine's cover as well. It's athlete. It's not athletes. It's not team. It's not league. It's athlete of the year. Now, let's make sure we understand that before we listen to this stupidity. Here is this stupidity.
It has taken the WNBA almost 28 years to get to the point where we are now. And this year, something clicked with the WNBA, and it's because of the draft of the players that came in. It's just not Caitlin Clark. It's Reese. We have so much talent out there that has been unrecognized. And I don't think we can just pin it on one player.
There has been, this phrase has been couched, hasn't it? The Caitlin Clark effect. Why do you think that has been the case?
Well, I want to be very diplomatic about this. It's just the structure of the way media plays out race. I'm going to be very honest. I feel really bad because I've seen so many players of color that are equally as talented, and they never got the recognition that they should have. And I think right now, it is time for that to happen. So last night, we read Time Magazine, where Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year. Why couldn't they have put the whole WNBA on that cover and said, the WNBA is the league of the year because of all the talent that we have? Because when you just keep singling out one player, it creates hard feelings. And so now you're starting to hear stories of racism within the WNBA, and I don't want to hear.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the women of the WNBA, the African-American women, have been incredibly racist over the years. I've got friends that played and coached in that league, and they've told me this for years. It's a cesspool. So is college basketball to a certain degree. So are women's college athletics. My wife had to put in a policy where you couldn't date your teammate. Now think about that for a second. Like, how ridiculous. So many problems, so much drama. But this woman wants the league. This woman is so stupid. If she doesn't understand that the WNBA was built this year by Caitlin Clark, good for her. But again, you know what? God bless her. Here is some of the, what's the right word? Here is the backlash, the community notes that this woman faced. I mean, one of the things, 31%, listen to this, 31% of the Mystics' total home attendance, 31% for the entire season, came from 2 games versus Caitlin Clark. They had to move to a bigger arena when they played Caitlin Clark. And this woman is too racist and blind. Now, with her $500 haircut, her little pearls, and all that stuff, she actually thinks that she and her opinion are really, really strong and meaningful. They exposed her as just another woman that got rich off her husband that is just simply racist and stupid. I'm just telling you. Here's Scott Jennings, our new hero. He is our hero. He stands up every day. Now, Carrie Champion was at ESPN when I was there. I was on a set with her a few times, and my God, it's like talking to that light. Like there was nothing there. Now, maybe when she went over to CNN, she got smarter. Maybe that was her jam. I don't know. But here's Scott Jennings just crushing some woke folk.
Number two, the attention the league got this year was amazing, and it was all because of her. She is an amazing player. The arenas were full when she played in them. The TV ratings were up when she was on television. That's undeniable. But, the league still lost like $40 million this year. And it's never made money. And to me, when you're talking about respecting people who built something, what did they build? A league that loses money every year? She has the capacity.
What do you mean?
What
did they build? What do you mean? What did they build?
What kind of a business did they build?
The reason why it's still up and still running, whether it's losing money or not, is because of these black women who are in this.
Isn't it because of the investors?
No, Scott, stop it. Stop it now.
It's not. I was in Dickie's arena.
Who pays for it?
I was in Dickie's arena. Let me just say, I was in.
It says more about the people who are getting offended by it than her.
I think they're just disappointed that she appears to have been captured by the woke mob.
You don't like the
and here's the disappointment.
It's the white privilege. Let him articulate this because I want to learn something.
I feel a little bad for her because she's going to learn that it will never be enough. No matter how much of the phrasing, no matter how much of the groveling you do, it will never be enough for the people in that league that hate her guts.
Why do you assume
they hate her guts?
Why do you assume
they do not?
The league is surviving because white governors, which is what owners are called in the WNBA, keep putting money into it. I'm just saying, that's it. You can say it's on the back of black or white women. You can say it's because whatever you want. But that's it. Period. And it's amazing. I give Scott Jennings credit. Can you imagine having to sit in there every single day with those idiots, talking over you, just looking around going, the level of stupid, the level of idiocy. Let's see here. A record 20,711 fans were in attendance for the Fever Mystics tonight. The largest crowd in WNBA history. Isn't that amazing? Now, it's the lady who got rich off of her husband who has her little haircut that is like, hey, look, what we doing? Man, it is truly amazing. It is truly amazing. This is her team. Oops. I'm trying to find Caitlin Clark's brother. I don't know which one this is. I think I have it wrong. But Caitlin Clark's brother came back at all of them. Caitlin Clark's brother wasn't messing around. And good for him. Look at that. He put that out there after the lady, Sheila Johnson, decided to make a dumbass of herself. It is amazing. Like, you're rich. You got a franchise. Can you imagine this? Last thing on this topic. Can you imagine all the bitching, whining, and moaning happening in the NBA when Bird and Magic came in? And then when Isaiah and Jordan came in? Can you imagine as the league grew, got big-time contracts, can you imagine? Like, let me ask you this question. If it's so racist, why did the league grow out of its mind internationally when Jordan came in? Yes, it grew monstrously, quadrupled whatever when Bird and Magic came in. And you can say that's a black-white thing. But it went to a completely different level when Jordan got popular. Wait a second. I thought that was racist. Can you imagine fans bitching, whining, and moaning, owners bitching, whining, and moaning like this idiot Sheila Johnson is bitching, whining, and moaning? about Jordan making everybody money, making franchise go from the millions to the billions? Can you imagine that? Like, my wife, who I reference all the time, said it right. Women in sports hate to see other women in sports be successful. It drives them crazy. Just think about that. Just think about every WNBA owner bitching about the only person that has given this league a chance, Caitlin Clark, and equal it to NBA owners bitching about Magic and Bird coming in, too much attention, Jordan coming in, too much attention. Just imagine that for a second. It wouldn't happen because dudes aren't idiots. This woman's an idiot. These other women are idiots. So, Sophie Cunningham, white girl, take off your clothes, spread your legs. Angel Reese, take off your clothes, spread your legs. Well, guess what? Caitlin Clark just acts like that tomboy down the street, and every guy, every girl in the neighborhood loves that tomboy. He's not a wide receiver, but Devondre Campbell sure acted like one. He's a 49ers linebacker who left the team in the third quarter. He's thrown his hat into the ring as the NFL's Diva of the Year after he refused to play and left the 49ers game Thursday versus the Rams during the third quarter. It's safe to say, based on the reactions from teammates and others, he won't be missed. He just got suspended for 3 games. A lot of people are saying, hey, man, you got to cut him. A lot of people, including me. You know, I said this, I don't know, maybe in a Big Brown Chair episode. One of the biggest mistakes that I made was letting a kid who sat at the end of the bench, didn't come in during a timeout during one of my last years at Bowling Green. I let him play. Should never have let him play. Ever. Never, ever. But it did. You got to get rid of those guys because, well, you're not winning with them. It's safe to say he's not missed. Let's go through some of the reaction. Carvarius Ward, who, he's a freaking stud. He's a corner. Let's hear from him.
I mean, he's a professional. He's been playing for a long time. I mean, if he didn't want to play, he shouldn't have dressed out. You know, he could have told him that before the game. So I feel like there was some sucker shit that he did. Definitely hurt the team because, you know, D went down, and we needed a linebacker, you know, and I think Flan was named up too. So for him to do that, that's some sucker stuff to me, in my opinion. Like, it's probably going to get cut soon, so, you know, it is what it is with that.
Yeah, when players come at you, you got a problem. George Kittle next.
Does that create dissension or disbelief or just disconnection on the sideline?
Not disbelief or disconnection like as a team. That is one person who just decided not to, you know, play for his teammates. And I don't think that doesn't make our offense look at each other and be like, wow, man, you know, we're falling apart. It's more of a, or like the defense, hey, we're falling apart. It's more of a one person making like Mooney said, a selfish decision, and I'm with Mooney on that. And I've never been around anybody that's ever done that, and I hope I'm never around anybody that does that again.
Yeah, man. No, that's right. He's right. Good for him. Here's Kyle Shanahan, the coach, who's coming under some shit, right?
What happened with Devondre Campbell? He didn't play, and he went into the locker room at some point.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to play today.
Play today?
Yep.
The coaching staff?
He did when I asked him why he didn't want to go in. So.
During the game or before?
No, that was in the third quarter.
Has that ever happened to you where a player said they didn't want to play in a game?
No.
He got demoted for this game, right? I mean, he was not going to play.
No, he was going to go in when Drake came out.
Who's Devondre Campbell?
We'll figure out something, but I don't know that right now.
Did he give you any reason why he didn't want to play today?
No.
Campbell, I mean, to hear a player say, I don't want to play today, does that create dissension, especially knowing that at this point in the season, with the type of season that this has started out to be, you kind of need as much camaraderie as possible to be successful? Does that create dissension amongst the team, or did it not really affect anyone? Did no one really notice?
People notice, but when someone says that you move on. You don't deal with that anymore.
Coach,
With Devondre opting to not go into the game, what do you need to do to ensure that you don't lose the rest of the locker room?
I haven't lost anybody. That's somebody who doesn't want to play football. It's pretty simple. I mean, I think our team and myself, we know how we feel about that. So I don't think we need to talk about him anymore.
How about the little girl reporter? What I always tell you about little girl reporters, don't you need the most camaraderie? And then the guy, shut up, all of you. Good for Shanahan. That's a good answer. A little sad, though. A little sad. That dude needs to be cut and banned from the league. I mean, look, oh, man, he just – no. He needs to be banned from the league. Like, I don't know. The girl reported, we need the most camaraderie. Really? You think that camaraderie is going to win? You think jumping up and down, standing on your head and shitting snowballs, honey, is what's going to win? Really? Oh, good. Okay. Well, I mean, if you think so, yeah. All right. I can't believe he's actually still here. In fact, I'm kind of fascinated by it. I used to kind of sort of in a weird way, Kyle Shanahan was one of the guys in the NFL of these young guys that I believed in, like that McDonald guy. He's like 2-50 against teams with an over 500 record. You know what I mean? Like he's a mess, and he was always a mess. He was just the next kind of I'm white. He's like that guy on Fox, Nick Wright. Yeah, hey, I'm white, but when I need to be black, I'm black. Whatever. We all get it. Everybody gets it. But so that guy stunk. Our guy, Steichen, has been terrible. Like, our guy is a mess. He is god-awful, and I would fire him immediately for this particular play. It's a play where he put the ball in a diva wide receiver who hasn't earned being a diva. But anyway, we'll get to all of the NFL coming up in a minute. Legendary Jets center wants accountability and action from state and federal officials as he's been experiencing the swarm of drones that has captivated America. Now, you got to understand, these are as big as like SUVs. He's tired of being lied to. Now, yesterday, my man, Ryan, was traveling from Nashville down here, and I think it was because of the drones that his flight got delayed. I think drones were in the way. In fact, anything that happens in this world, I'm going to use drones. Here's Manigault. After seeing this with my own eyes and getting lied to straight to our faces, makes you wonder what else they lie about with such ease. How are we just letting this happen? John Kirby had said, well, we have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or public safety threat and have a foreign nexus. We have not been able to corroborate any of the reported visual sightings. Manigault's saying right there, what are you talking about? Look, Manigault's just getting into the game. See, here at OutKick, we tell you what's happening before. I don't think you see overreaction Mondays really on anything. Remember the NBA ratings tanking? How long has our faithful leader, Clay Travis, been talking about that? Let me give you the answer. A long-ass time. A long-ass time. Here's Manigault also. Look, this is, hey, Nick, long-time listener, first-time caller. Fill me in. Sounds like some controversy. Are the drones still there? How long have they been there? Do we have a guess as to what they are? Mango says, welcome, longtime friend of the program. And AWL, don't sue me. There are quite large drones flying in the skies of New Jersey, and we're being told by our government that we aren't actually seeing anything. Those of us who have lived here long enough know of normal air traffic. This isn't normal. After experiencing one fly directly over my head, I am now on the case. I do not like being lied to. Hey, side note to our great staff, the Flying Nicks, and of course, Dylan, can we see if we can get Manigault on here? I want to know, because these aren't just like some little kid flying a drone. These are like, I mean, the size of an SUV. I got an SUV out there, and I'm going to tell you, if that thing falls on your house, you got a serious problem. Good for Manigault for speaking up. Should Bill Belichick, I want you to listen to this, should Bill Belichick take the advice from Keyshawn Johnson? Johnson offers some insight that as he's due to take over, hire some black coaches. Let me see if I can make this idiot Keyshawn Johnson understand something. We get what you're doing. You're trying. Again, we all know. Al Sharpton money's out there, baby. You go. You go. No, it's out there for you. You know, you can say stupid shit and become a race guy and get paid and not have to pay taxes on it? Here's the deal, Keyshawn. Bill Belichick been coaching longer than your sorry ass has been alive. He knows he's supposed to hire black coaches. Every coach in America knows it's not a meritocracy anymore. Hey, I'd have a whole black staff if they were the best coaches available to me. I wouldn't even look at it, didn't care. But you all know, we know, everybody knows that that's what you do. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm saying everybody knows you want African-American and white and whatever on your staff. But Keyshawn Johnson has to say it, so we'll talk about him like he's Gandhi. Jesus. I mean, seriously. All right, here's Keyshawn Johnson spreading his obvious stupidity.
What I would say, and I'm just going to say it, he better hire some black coaches.
Okay, thank you, Keyshawn.
He better hire some black coaches.
Looking a little the same around here.
No, he better hire some black coaches.
Okay,
Because you got to go into the homes.
Skepticism about the recruiting.
You got to hire some black coaches. Got to go into the homes and the mamas and convince, not daddy, mommy, and auntie that you're going to take care of this. No, real talk. You got
Keyshawn,
real talk.
You're saying it more directly than I am.
Yo, I get it.
You got Freddie Kitchens, Mike Lombardi, Bill Belichick, and Steve Belichick.
No, it's not. No, you got to. And he's smart enough, again. I bet that he's smart enough to know that.
I would hope so.
I bet that he's not one guy.
2024, and we can't.
Not one guy coaching the running backs and one guy coaching the receivers. No.
Tell them. That's the dumbest conversation you will hear. That is the dumbest conversation that has been in a entire day, week, month, year, life of dumb conversations. That is the dumbest. That's the most posturing. That's the stupidest. That's the most ridiculous. That's the most self-involved conversation that has ever been on the airwaves. You don't think Bill Belichick has hired black coaches his whole life? Honest to God. But now you better. Okay, what if he doesn't? What are you going to do? You going to protest? You going to burn a city? What are you going to do? He knows that he has to hire black coaches, dumbass. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that just pisses me off. This act like that, guys want to now. See, I told you got to hire. Shut up. Belichick has been coaching for, again, as long as this clown's been alive. He understands the landscape. Jesus. I mean, the level of just self-pandering. Californians want to plunge your once beautiful state into further destruction and decay, do they? Well, now you might have an opportunity to do so. It's being reported that Kamala Harris is eyeing a potential run for governor as she weighs her political future in the wake of getting her ass beat by Donald Trump. Here it is. Let's hear it.
Tell us what the likelihood is of Harris running for governor.
What she's been saying to people over the last couple of weeks, donors, other supporters that she's been talking with, is you haven't seen the last of me. I'm not going quietly into the night. Advisors, people close to her, are debating about what that means. They do not want her final official act ever to be essentially certifying Donald Trump's win over her, especially 4 years after January 6th. And so they look at this governor's race in California in 2026, and it seems to them like a layup, essentially, that she would probably clear the field, or mostly clear the field, and she would get to be governor of California. It's a pretty good job, right? It was good enough for Ronald Reagan and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jerry Brown. But if she does that, that means that she couldn't turn around and run for president again in 2028, right? She'd need to essentially declare right away. And that is what it really comes down to, because there are people close to her who say she didn't get a fair shot this year. It wasn't up to what she could have done, and look how well she performed.
There you go. No, she needs to go away. She won't, but she needs. There's too much money in politics. Have you seen how much money these old people are making? You think she's going to go away? No, I mean, the only way she goes away is if the voters tell her to go away, and I'm down for that. All right. Sunday recap. Colts lose to the Broncos. Shout out Jonathan Taylor, 31-13. Game's going back and forth. Taylor, 40-yard run. Drops the football before the goal line, which is so idiotic. It makes my head. Here's why I'm personal about it. In Indianapolis, there are two things you talk about on sports talk radio, the Colts and Indiana basketball. Nothing else matters. Purdue's run to the Final Four last year. Okay, then. Pacers playoff, yes. Never talk about Purdue football. We only talk about Indiana football this year, and I'm all over it. It is Notre Dame week, Friday. Of course, you don't ever, ever, ever talk about the Pacers until the playoffs or anything else. That's what the research says. So the Colts yesterday, had they beaten the Broncos, they would have the by far easiest schedule remaining. They would be one game back of the Broncos. Broncos got to beat the Bengals at the Bengals, the Chargers at the Chargers, and they play the Chiefs. So Colts would have, if they could get a tie, they get the 7th spot. They lost. Main reason, Jonathan Taylor's dumbass, who's a really nice kid. He is a great dude. He dropped the ball. I don't understand. I don't know. Guys used to want to run in the end zone and spike it, run in the end zone, hand it to a fat guy and spike it. You know what I'm saying? Not Jonathan Taylor. Nope, not him. That's so stupid. Don't even get me going on Mina Kimes and Shane Steichen. Mina Kimes, Chase Daniels, and others told us how good, what a great play caller Shane Steichen is. You know how they also lost? Richardson throws it over here to a mentally challenged A.D. Mitchell. Reason I say mentally challenged, even the reporters who are soft as hell in Indy asked about throwing it to a guy like Mitchell who has made a ton of mental mistakes. Mitchell over there was supposed to throw it back to Richardson, right? Trick play. Guess what? Broncos broke through 2, intercepted, pick 6. And Adonde Mitchell was too stupid to even admit that, I made a mistake. That's how dumb this guy is. I'm going to try to get this to you, Dylan, so we can play it at the end of the show. It is unbelievable. Hey, you're down 10, 12 minutes to go. You onside kick? I don't know, man. That's what Dan Campbell did. And any of you that want to question, and good, you African-Americans on the NFL shows, make it race, and we're just going to laugh at you like we did with Kamala Harris and Trump. Josh Allen's the MVP of this league, and it is not close. Lamar Jackson's you know my sense of Lamar Jackson. You know I love Lamar Jackson. Boy, he put an ass kicking yesterday. Look at the Jets. Hey, look at it. You guys are excited there in New York. Maybe they win the rest of their games and they keep Aaron Rodgers. Cowboys beat the Panthers. Buccaneers just dog-walked. I mean, dog-walked the Chargers. That's the only hope for the Colts, is that the Chargers tank. And the Packers, they beat the crap, and I had it the other way. I took the Seahawks getting 4, and I took over 45. Neither of them hit. I'm going broke. Holy cow.